Grinch. Grinch, I love you. I love you, Grinch. Oh yes, Grinch. I love you even more. I love you, Grinch. I love you, Grinch. No. Grinch. No. No. No, Grinch, no. No. No, Grinch. No. 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 There are two types of people in this world. People who like the Grinch 2000 and people with small dicks. Do I look like I have a small dick? Don't answer that. Dr. Seuss specifically said he never wanted to make any theatrical adaptations of his work, so naturally as soon as he kicked, his wife sold the rights. The agreement resulted in such critically acclaimed classics as... Mrs. Dr. Seuss eventually ended this agreement after The Cat in the Hat. What the fuck is that? But she made a new one. She would only sell the rights to the books to studios willing to make animated adaptations. This agreement resulted in such critically acclaimed classics as... Yeah, apparently stretching a children's book out to 90-minute long features isn't a good idea. Who knew? A big source of criticism towards these films is the fact that they weren't like the books, and to that I say, go watch the shorts. Why would you want an exact replica of the books when you already have an exact replica of the books? I'm not saying the Seuss adaptations were good, it's just that using the fact that they aren't like the books as criticism is kind of shitty, especially when you have so much material to go off of. I think the best Seuss adaptation is The Grinch 2000, which, in perspective, is pretty much like saying getting shot in the balls is more fun than getting shot in the stomach. But no, this movie is actually pretty good, better than this garbage. The Grinch 2000 stars Jim Carrey and some other people, probably, but you'll have a hard time IDing some of the people because of the heavy amount of makeup on the actors. Hey, fun fact, apparently Jim Carrey's first day of makeup for The Grinch took 8 hours, and he was about to walk off the set, so naturally the director hired a CIA operative to train Carrey in withstanding torture. That'll put you in the Christmas spirit. Anyway, it was directed by Ron Howard, who went on to make Arrested Development and that Star Wars movie that nobody watched, so take that for what it's worth. But I guess to make a review on a movie, you actually have to watch it, so here it is. The Grinch 2K. The Grinch 2K starts out with a CG segment that I'm assuming looked pretty cool for the time because it doesn't look that bad 18 years later. You see Whoville and oh my god does it look awful. The colors are muted, the town is ugly, it's hectic, it's scary, it's shitty looking. Then you see the Grinch and he looks like a piece of poop after you ate a bunch of vegetables. And a cat. These might sound like critiques, but really they're not. The Grinch is a story about a vile being that sees everything in a negative light. So the movie shows the Grinch as a vile being and everything is seen in a negative light. What's the problem here? The Grinch is seen as a bad person because he hates Christmas, so naturally he blows up the fucking town. So naturally he lives all alone away from everyone else because although the Grinch's hate is seasonal, the Who's hate lasts all year long. There is one character that sees through the bullshit though, Cindy Lou, coincidentally the only one that doesn't look like she just got back from a vacation at Chernobyl. She attempts to wreck the libtards with facts and statistics and even tries to redeem the Grinch, but nobody cares. Cindy Lou then meets the Grinch and almost fucking dies, but then the Grinch saves her and makes her a part of his human trafficking ring. It turns out that the Who's don't just look fuck ugly, they're also fuck ugly on the inside too, where it matters. Apparently. They love Christmas, but they're extremely materialistic and competitive about it, making the whole thing a rat race, not about family or spirit or love or Jesus, whoever that is. I think they need to learn some love and compassion for their fellow Who, and although presents are nice, there's much more to... Wait. That's the whole ending, isn't it? Shit. The Grinch lives in one of those $5 Detroit homes, and it looks kinda cool. If this movie was made these days, the whole thing would probably be CG. Hell, they did make this movie these days, and the whole goddamn movie was CG. But the fact remains, the set design is awesome and fits the whole vomit and shit-fueled tone. The movie also gives the Grinch a backstory, but it's so bog standard and unnecessary I won't even talk about it. I've already been talking about it for too long. The only thing you need to take away from it is the fact that the Grinch is now depressed. You think I'm kidding too. The Grinch literally has seasonal depression disorder, except with Christmas instead of all of winter. Lucky fucker. And really, can you blame him? Just look at the town that he lives in. It's all noisy and ugly and... Apparently the Who's have this Christmas jubilation masturbation thingamabobber, and it's just as loud and annoying as everything else, and again, for good reason, it fits the tone of the movie. There they elect the King of Christmas, and Cindy Lou elects the Grinch because he didn't commit manslaughter. Wow. What a guy. All the Grinch needs to do is sew up and accept it.
It's not a dress, it's a kilt! Sicko!
2018 Jim Carrey is quaking right now. He of course shows up and this happens.
little bit, huh?
Look, I never said the movie was perfect. Of course, everyone in the town treats the Grinch like a turd and he runs amok. I found it interesting how the Grinch actually gives the Who's a try in this adaptation. I think that actually adds something. The entire town then blames the girl for what the Grinch did. You know what? The Grinch is a good guy. He has obvious reason for doing everything he does, and sure, he's a felon, but everybody keeps pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. The Grinch is actually a relatable character here. Everyone else is the asshole. Naturally, the Grinch decides his only course of action is to steal Christmas. Over 1 hour into the movie. Better late than never though, right? He then proceeds to do so, and next morning everybody's super pissed, but then they're all like, oh, Christmas is still cool. The Grinch's heart grows. He saves Christmas in a CG segment that probably looked cool in 2000, but looks shit now. And everybody loves him.
Your cheeks so...
I know. Hairy.
No.
Greasy. Stinky. Do I have a zit?
No. Warm.
Everybody except the people that witnessed that. I know I joke a lot in my videos, maybe because my life's a joke. Oh god. But I legitimately do like this movie. I know it's for kids, but there's some generally funny parts in it, and the Grinch himself is just a beacon of comedy, especially when he's by himself. Sure, it has its setbacks, but I think it's worthwhile. Maybe it's not a rendition of the Grinch that's faithful to the books, and Dr. Seuss probably wouldn't have approved of something like this, but it's a different take. They could have taken the easy way out and stretched the idea of the book, like some movies do, but instead, it took a different perspective. A perspective where the Grinch is in the right and the town is in the wrong. It still ended up in the same place, but the journeys were wildly different, and the film's length seems justified because of that. Sure, the Grinch might have practically been a terrorist this time around, but at least the film had character and tried something unique. The Grinch 2018 is bland, and while it isn't a bad movie, it just doesn't take any risks, therefore it doesn't get any rewards. And maybe you hate this film, but you can't really contest that it at least tried to do something. It was different, something people still remember to this day, for better or for worse. Hell, it even got released on 4K Blu-ray, a recent format that nobody uses. That's worth something, right? 18 years from now, no one will remember or care about The Grinch 2018, and there's probably not going to be any high schoolers defending it either, so you know, food for thought I guess. Anyway, that was my manifesto on how The Grinch did nothing wrong. Goodbye. Yes, I know Nostalgia Critic also did a video on this, and yes, I know I probably stole some of his jokes. I haven't watched the video in a while, so I might have stole his jokes, I might not have. But you know, go watch his video too, because there's a very good chance I accidentally stole his jokes. So yeah, peace.